Alright, so we're trying to finish off this topic, the God inside you. I'm going to move on. I left off in Romans, first chapter at the 21st verse, just saying how if it trickles down to the kids, then that's basically like just stopping creation, and that's just it. And what I mean by stopping creation, with this agenda that they pushing, if they're so sincere about it, then once the babies get a hold to it and they get it in their heart where, they don't want to have kids, or, they're not attracted to the opposite sex, then the game is over. So like I was saying, that's what brought me in the truth. That's the vision that I saw when I was out there, before I knew I was Israel and everything, and I prayed to whom they call God, and my prayers were answered in a sense because it sent me on a journey. And now I'm here before you guys, just giving y'all that little bit of information just to share with y'all how I got in the truth. It's still on topic because at the same time I'm expressing through the scriptures how, let's get back in Romans right quick. And we're gonna move forward. Romans, the first chapter, the 24th verse is where I was. Where I left off at. Okay. And it states, wherefore the almighty power also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts. It's unclean through the lust of their own hearts, and we done followed this nation straight down through that path. You know what I'm saying? And the gig is up now. The gig is up. To dishonor their own bodies between themselves. So, and that's the God inside them that's doing that. That's not the creator. He made man and woman. We know this because if it weren't for that, those who are creating those acts or who displaying those acts would not even be here. So how can you come in this world and despise your coming? It's madness. And then, you put that on the babies, like I say. And once the babies, they're getting taught in schools, all this foolishness, man. The gig is up. Once again, that's just the vision, like I said, that I saw, and I was like, okay, this ain't gonna turn out too well. And from that point on, I ended up where I'm at. So let's move forward. We're going to Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 7 through 8. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 7 through 8. So it's still about the God that's inside you. Whatever it is that drive a person, and here's the deal, once again. If you ain't serving the Most High, there's another God inside you. All kind of demons are out there. So people pick their own, you know what I'm saying? And when I came into this truth, I found out that there was more than one God. And it blew my mind. It blew me away. Even for my own family, whom they say they believed in God. But once you start getting in these scriptures, they won't even accept the fact that they're Israel. If you don't accept the fact that you're Israel, and you're a so-called Negro, you don't have no nationality. You don't know where you're from. You're going to forever be on the bottom. It's just a whole list of foolishness, man. And this is how they're able to conquer us. You have no destiny. You have no past. Your past is slavery. It starts and stops right there. And you're still in the land of your captivity right now. You're still in the land of your captivity right now. Get up there, boy. Get. Zephaniah chapter 1, verse 7 through 8. Hold thy peace at the presence of the Most High, the Almighty Power. For the day of the Most High is at hand. For the Most High has prepared a sacrifice. He hath bid his guests. His guests are the so-called Negroes, the so-called natives, and the so-called Hispanics of Negroid descent. Those are his guests. Those are the ones that he's bringing back through the adoption. Those are the ones that he's calling to his supper. You know what I'm saying? He's having mercy. He's having grace. It's a grace period, and it's about up. And mercy is thin right now because we are falling off in the streets. That's why these lessons are coming forth. That's why all these prophecies are coming to pass. Verse 8. And it shall come to pass in the day of the Most High Yahweh sacrifice, that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. Now, strange apparel can go with different philosophies. You're clothed with the ways of certain Gentile nations, because we're scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. But I also can say that with the children, like I said, with that trickle down effect of this madness they got going on, you got this. I've seen two parents, man and woman, in the store with their kid, be it a boy or girl, but the little girl could be dressed like a little boy, you know what I'm saying, up under their supervision right there. Or the little boy can be walking around sweet as a strawberry shortcake, you know what I'm saying, and both parents are right there, and it's just pure madness. They're enabling this madness. I just don't know how this spirit jumped on everybody like this. But we are in this time that Mashiach said, as in the days of Noah, so shall it be when the Son of Man cometh. Just paraphrasing. It just seemed like somebody just, if you see the military practicing, and the airplanes fly by, and they jump out in the parachute. They're just practicing, you know what I'm saying? It's like somebody just dropped a lot of these people off, and all of a sudden they all over the place. Elderly people, I've never seen so many elderly people, especially the women, turning and wanting to be men. All of a sudden, my auntie want to be my uncle. This is straight up crazy, man. It's straight crazy. And I'm going to say it again. Strange apparel. You're dressing your kids up like the opposite sex. These are kids, man. They don't have a say-so. And you are allowing them to look at the world and suggestively say, hey, it's okay for a little boy to play with dolls. Or it's okay for this young lady to put her baseball cap on her head and wear it backwards. Little bitty girls, little bitty boys I'm talking about here, with their parents, man. This is not a good deal, man. So once again, verse 8 says, it shall come to pass in the day of the Most High Yahweh's sacrifice, that I will punish the princes and the king's children, and all such as are clothed with strange apparel. Now these, once again, that are clothed with strange apparel are not walking in the way of the Most High. In the previous verse, it says, he hath bid his guest. He has bid his guest, okay? Now let's get some more clarification on that. Let's go to Matthew, the 22nd chapter, and verse 11 through 13. Matthew 22, verse 11 through 13, all right? Book of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 11 through 13. And when the king came in to see the guests, remember that? We just left out of Zephaniah. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment. He wasn't prepared to meet the Messiah. He still, his spirit or his demeanor or the way he was presenting himself, he wasn't walking in the way of the Most High. He wasn't walking in. He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. So it says again, verse 11. And when the king came in to see the guests, he saw there a man which had not on a wedding garment, strange apparel. And he said unto him, Friend, how camest thou in hither, not having a wedding garment? And he was speechless. You know what I'm saying? And this is a rough rebuke here. He was speechless because this is a man of authority we're talking about. This is not the so-called white Jesus. This is not Caesar Borgia. He's asking him, what's your problem, man? Are you okay? What's really going on with you? I mean, seriously. So, and then at that point, he said the man was speechless. Verse 13. Then said the king to the servants, which are the elect, or those who walking with the Most High, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him in the outer darkness. There shall he be weeping, Salakia. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. So you heard what's going to happen, because earlier in the book of Zephaniah, he said he's going to punish the princes and the king's children and all those who are clothed with strange apparel, right? Then said the king, verse 13 again, then said the king to the servants, bind him hand and foot, and take him away, and cast him into outer darkness. You don't want to see him no more. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. You don't want to see him no more. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 23, verse 30. Proverbs 23 and 30. All right. The book of Proverbs chapter 23 and verse 30. They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. And this is what's going on now. Because the God inside of the so-called Negro, Native, and Hispanic man, the wine that they going to seek, the mixed wine, is the mixed philosophies, the confusion that's been poured upon them, from generation to generation. Now all of a sudden they begging their oppressor. Once again, we right back at it from the 60s. We begging our oppressor to let us drink from his fountain. This is madness. Mixed wine is madness, and it causes you to act crazy. Once again, it's just like a guy that don't take his medication, and then you run out there with a knife in your hand, like I saw on TV the other night. They said that man didn't take his medication, and they shot him to death. All right? And you run around in the world butt naked because you ain't took your medicine. And when you running around according to scriptures naked, you in sin. You know what I'm saying? You in sin. So, hey, they that tarry long at the wine, back up off of it, Israel. You got to let it go. Tarry long at the wine. You love this place. And we drunk over here as a nation. Super drunk. They that go to seek mixed wine. You understand? It says, look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth its color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man. Drunkenness, man. Drunkenness. All right? Go to Proverbs 22 and 5. Book of Proverbs chapter 22, verse 5. Thorns and snares are in the way of the froward. He that doth keep his soul shall be far from them. And thorns and snares are the things that we've been. We get caught up in the thorns. We trapped in these. The God inside of us got us trapped, doing the things that we want to do, and it's not working out for us. Snares, you get caught up in the situations that you can't get yourself out of. You know what I'm saying? Because certain things you can't get yourself in. As far as I'm concerned. You can't cross no lines and then try to come back, laying out with men and all that kind of stuff, and then you try to come back and get them spirits off you. Although I know through the Most High all things are possible, but man, I would not want to cross that line, you know what I'm saying, and have to wrestle that wrestle or fight that fight. So, and that's the God that's inside of you. It's not the Most High's way, it's your way, and your way is obviously serving the God of this world, according to Job 9 and 24. All right, we're gonna go to Proverbs chapter 23, verse 11 through 23. This will be the last precept for this lesson. All right, Proverbs 23, verse 11 through 23. For their Redeemer is mighty, and he shall plead their cause with thee. And when we know about the Most High pleading, it ain't a pretty thing. All right. The Most High is a man of war. He's a man of war. Okay. Apply thine heart unto instruction. Pay attention, Israel. Shema. Listen. Apply your heart to instruction. We talking about instruction from the Father, not instructions from Joe Biden, Donald Trump, or none of your mayors and your governors in your state. Apply thine heart unto instruction, and thine ear to the words of knowledge. Knowledge will be the laws, commandments, and judgment and statutes that are written in these scriptures for the children of Israel, the so-called Negroes, and so-called Hispanic and so-called natives. That is knowledge. Okay? Withhold not correction from the child. And the Most High is not going to withhold correction from the child. Judgment is coming. All right? For if thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. So the Most High going to start at the house of Israel first. Judgment going to start at our house first. And he going to continue to keep sticking his foot up in our butt. But he said, he shall not die. If thou beatest him with the rod, he shall not die. Because at this point, it's going to be the Most High doing the afflicting, doing the beating, doing the chastising. You know what I'm saying? That's just it. Verse 14. Thou shalt beat him with the rod, and shalt deliver his soul from hell. So the Most High going to punish us, trying to save us. And I know we're looking for a Savior. That's why you're out there voting. You voting because you're looking for a Savior. You understand? I understand that thing. You know, but it's not turning out right. I just looked at TV tonight. You know, over 80-some people done got locked up. You know, doing foolishness, man. Just foolishness, man. You know, but this got to be. It's all written. If these prophecies don't come to pass, then we'll never get out of here. So all of this is written in the scriptures. Okay? My son, if thine heart be wise, my heart shall rejoice, even mine. So if your heart be wise, if we do the right thing, the Most High will be happy. If the Most High ain't happy, then we got major problems. And the major problem that we see right now is us getting slayed out here in the street. Okay? A little bit of children are walking around cross-dressing in our community. Even in the ghetto, man. You ain't got a pot to piss in, but your son, your baby son, coming up, watching his mama kiss on another woman, or vice versa, man. It's ridiculous, man. But that's the God that's inside of our people that's driving them to do that. That ain't the God we're supposed to be serving. We're supposed to be serving the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, the creator of the universe. And he's a terrible Elohim. Okay? Terrible. And I told you in Zephaniah what he said he's going to do to all those that are clothed with strange apparel. That's the day of the Lord's sacrifice. Is not a pretty picture. All right? Let's keep it moving. Yea, my reins shall rejoice when thy lips speak right things. So we got to have the right thing coming out of our mouth. We can't be scoffing. We got to be humble. We got to pay attention. How much the more can we take? Or how long it going to take for you to humble yourself? All right? The prophets out there on the street, they doing the best they can do, man. They doing the best they can do. Even myself. Even myself. But you know, patience is a virtue. You know, it is righteous. Because if not, you'll fall into sin right with them. You know, let not thine heart envy. Let not thine heart envy sinners. This is verse 17. Don't be envying the ways of the world, the ways of the nations. Don't want to be like them. I know the pressure, I know it's rough, and I know we want some, and I know we've been down, and I know we've been beaten and stricken over here, and all we want is a little bit, you know what I'm saying? We just want to be a part of this thing. But it ain't for us, man. If we only understand that we're over here in captivity, it's real simple. Like I said, all you got to do is look at your last name. That's a starter. You're still in captivity, man. You're still in captivity. All right? Let not thine heart envy sinners, but be thou in the fear of the Most High Yahweh all the day long. That's respect. Respect the Most High and have your mind steadfast on Him, and don't be worried about no election. Don't be worried about none of that mess, man. Don't worry about these agendas that they pushing on you, on us. Let's keep our way out of the way of sin, man. All right? For surely there is an end, and thine expectation shall not be cut off. And that's only if we follow the ways of the Most High. You won't be cut off. But the scripture said 2/3 of our people going to perish. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not going to return to the Most High. They're going to keep standing in line and voting. They're going to keep getting shot down. But they're going to continue to still follow after these false idols that look like us. Like the entertainers, the rappers, the football players, the baseball players, the TV people on TV, newscasters, or whatever it is, you know, that we inspire or aspire to be in this ran down, filthy cage of every unclean bird. Okay? Alright? Verse 19. Hear thou, my son, and be wise, and guide thine heart in the way. Alright? Guide your heart in the way of righteousness, man. Come back home. The scriptures tell us to come out of her, my people, and be not partakers of her sin. Move out the way. Move out the way, because the Most High about to bring some terrible things to this place. Move out the way. I know y'all don't believe it. I know y'all ain't seen it. You only speak it with your mouth, you know what I'm saying? But you don't know nothing about the Most High. He's a terrible Elohim. Terrible. Just go look up Sodom and Gomorrah, okay? Go look up ancient Egypt. Hey, look at yourself. You destroyed, man. We destroyed over here. If you can't see that, man, more destruction is coming. I don't get it, man. Verse 20. Be not among winebibbers, among riotous eaters of flesh. And you are among riotous eaters of flesh. They're consuming y'all daily. Riding. Got you tricked. George Soros, or whatever his name is, all those guys out there paying these people to come and manipulate these riots, trying to get Jake to get involved. You know, and then slowly but surely you're getting involved, but it's only you who's going to jail. It's only you who dying out there. The rest of these people going home, man. You got to wake up, Jake. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, to nothing, all right? And as a matter of fact, I'm going to stop right there. All I'm saying is, man, don't continue to let the God inside you guide you. Because if you believe in so-called white Jesus, that's the God inside you, man. You done fell off by now. If you ain't woke up, it's a wrap for you, man. And all this talking about Ra and all these other crazy deities, man, and you talking about you a God, and you still on the bottom, man. I'm on the bottom with y'all, man. But I ain't nobody. I ain't doing nothing. I'm just trying to proclaim the word of the Most High, accepting my heritage, accepting my punishment as an Israelite over here in the daughter of Babylon. You understand? So with that, man, I hope it was edifying. And I want to just share this message with y'all. Spread a little love, man, to the 12 tribes of Israel scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, far and near, whithersoever the Most High done scattered them, because I know amongst them is the remnant and the 144. And on top of that, I just want to say shalom, shalom, shalom.